Hey guys, welcome back. This is Lucid. We're jumping back into Bumble Rumble. It's turn, 54, I think? Let me check. 54. And yeah, so if you recall last episode, we had a pretty huge battle that we had been preparing for some turns, where our god saved our throne province, and in the process killed a huge number of Movark knights. In addition to doing that, we had cut off their retreat, so their profit, and a bunch of other high-value mages all got deleted. What was particularly important was all the items on them. I think I counted up after the battle all the items that we destroyed, and I believe it was around 150 gems worth of items. So, yeah, pretty expensive. I've probably lost about that many in all the thugs he's killed, but let's see what this turn brings. Okay, so on one of the islands, we found a wildfire glade, which is a fire 1 site. And I really need fire. Fire's like my most valuable gem right now, so that's really valuable. We found a black coral reef, which is a death 1 site. And then nothing. Okay, we cast the Maelstrom, and this went off successfully, which means we overrode Yis's Maelstrom, which is good. So we should have Maelstrom for a good long while, and hopefully it will pay itself back and more. Okay, and then that's it for site searching. Onto the battles. We have a battle in Pangea. So we are going and attacking on top of Pangea, and he has... Okay, it's just his PD, and his PD, lucky for him, gets a sweet little Morgan champion. One second, let me put my headset on. Okay. Fixed it on my end. Now, let's see. So, the big question is Acid Storm gonna go off? Because I was going back and forth about whether I should cast it. And I reopened the turn several times, and ultimately decided against it, but you can see Acid Rain coming down. And it is doing some good work. 24 damage, 9. How's the fatigue on my guys after spamming this out? It's not bad. 93, 92, okay. Why is this guy so much lower? Oh, he was on hold, and then do it. These guys are just casting it. See, our guys are on fire from that fiery breath. Okay, and then his dude runs. Okay, so we have now taken Pangea. It appears that Pangea has decided it wants Pangea for itself. And yet again, the AI has summoned back its god onto Pangea's cap at a very inopportune time. So let's hope this doesn't cause... What would be, comically sad is if somehow this was really hard to kill, and it caused me to acid rain myself, or acid storm myself, while I failed at killing it. However, Yis's Dominion is in here, so it's actually reasonably easy to kill. But it does cast Temper Flesh and Earth Power, and now it's spamming out Blade Wind. But that's got its protection up to 31. If it had a lot of HP and it triggered my gem usage, which it didn't, we would be in some hurt. Okay, and it dies. So, unfortunately, I lost a couple dudes here. So I lost 2, and in this other battle, I lost the militia, which don't really care or count, but then I lost 1 war shambler. So I lost 4 shamblers. But that's okay. The thing is, I have no idea where his actual armies are, which are his Movark Knights, which is annoying. Okay, we conquer Warshin, which was just one of the provinces we were raiding. That's right up here. And then coming down, it looks like we bumped Phaecia. So I didn't think Phaecia would be able to get to this province this quickly, and I wanted to go ahead and claim it. So he is attacking some Indies, and he's brought a kind of big army, so I hope my thug doesn't die. He could get lightning bolted to death. That would make me very sad. Because this is where we sent our thug. So on one side, we have the Phaeacian army with 2 air mages. On my side, we have Shamem, King of the Deep. And he does not have shock resistance, which could prove to be a problem, but otherwise he's going to be mostly immune to physical damage. And I didn't give him a very long script, and I didn't give him Quicken Self, because I was a little worried about his fatigue. Because he's at 4 with only 3 encumbrance, 3 reinvigoration. You get kind of 1 built in by default. But I think with quickness, I would end up becoming fatigue negative. So he just casts 3 spells and runs off into battle. His fatigue right now is 19, which is really low. And as he gets into combat, it's going to actually lower a bit more. So like right now it's 11. Okay, never mind. It's going to maintain it right around 11, which is what I want. Now, the nice thing about this setup is it's really hard for them to hit him. He's, I probably should have had him hold, and then attack. But I wasn't really worried about a bump. Yeah, these guys are getting very fatigued out. You can see 185 fatigue. So if the person, if whoever you're fighting does not have cold resistance, and they can't kill you quickly, and they don't have like ranged archers to pound you, or mages to hit you with shit. So it's a lot of ifs, but if you're just fighting normal troops, Breath of Winter is one of the better defensive buffs, because if you survive the initial onslaught, it's going to just fatigue out everybody around you. Okay, we're gonna pick the speed up here. So you can see we're just chopping up little Phaeacian armies. And like that, they get all chopped to pieces. And we're chopping everybody up. Okay, and then the turn timer went off, and now we're running, which is a bit annoying. So technically he wins. Fortunately, we don't die when retreating. We successfully retreat. Because if I had another, like, ridiculous thing where I die when I retreat, I was gonna be a little pissy. Okay, finally we have a battle in the Fortress of Goodwater. And like we thought, there's not really anything in here. They do have a prophet, so it's not nothing, but it's not much. Okay, and we have Lyra Dawnbringer running in, the Slayer of Pelagia, and she chops up some of those guys, and then she heads back for the prophet. Got him, coach. Then chop them up, and there we go. So, as you can see, that was the end of Pelagia. That was their last province. So, Stone Daddy, the god of Pelagia, has permanently been vanquished. At the end, he did not rule a single province, and now has nowhere to return. In terms of events, we got 10 PD, which was kind of nice. We got an old scholar discovered the tombs of an ancient hero holding ancient treasures. We got 700 gold and 2 items. The Ice Lance, Boots of Longstride, more useful. I do need logistics items. And then final event, Unrest and Misfortune. Okay, so that is about it. The other thing that's a little important in terms of just what's happened is we have built our 15th temple, which means we are now up to Dominion Strength 10, which means we can have 10 candles on a province. And it also means we're going to Dom push about 5% harder. And of course we have 2 more temples, so that's going to all help with our Dom push efforts. Over here, we are building a temple. And I've decided to do a few things this turn. One thing, so you can see the global situation. There's Mother Oak, there's Stellar Focus, there's Maelstrom, and there's Forge of the Ancients. Now, both of these I can probably steal. Mother Oak I'm going to try to steal this turn. The first time people cast Mother Oak, they usually don't overcast it too much. So doing an overcasting of 100 is probably going to be pretty safe. If it doesn't work out, I'm not going to go cry. But so the total amount of gems we're putting in is 46. So I think there's a very high likelihood this works. Now, what am I going to do with all the nature gems? There's a few things I can do. One is I can spam out these vine ogres, which the more I've been thinking about it, the more I'm thinking these are going to be particularly useful for me. There's a few things that make them special. One is because they're mindless. The fact they're low MR doesn't exactly matter in a lot of circumstances. Because they are mindless, I can use them if I ever end up fighting Relay, because things that they're going to do underwater, like Astral Tempest, wouldn't hurt me, and it actually allows me to do things like Astral Tempest, which is one of the better underwater kind of clear spells. Yeah, so, and I think with regen, they will be very immune to Foul Vapors. So I can potentially do like Astral Tempest, Foul Vapors, and Invade Relay. That is an option. It's not something I'm planning on doing, but I am planning on making them. And if I ever need to fight Relay, I want to have good options to fight them. The other thing it's going to allow me to do is to spam out Living Castle. Living Castle... Did I get it in the wrong school? Like, where the hell is it? Oh wait, it's a nature spell, of course. If I can find it... Did I? I'm sure y'all have seen it, and I'm just being oblivious. Okay, here it is. Living Castle. So 40 gems, and what that means is basically I'm almost at 18, and I'll be up at close to 30. So let's call it 30. Basically every turn I can do it. And what my priorities are going to be getting any of the provinces that have gem income or provinces that have a high population. And getting all of these, like this one, this one's like a super valuable province. This one's pretty valuable, decent population, a fair amount of these, already has a lab. I want to start getting all my high value raid targets under forts, and starting to stick temples in them. Yeah, so that's one plan. The other thing that I'm looking to do is potentially casting, and this I haven't necessarily figured out, but I have what I need to cast Earthblood Deepwell because I have a ring of wizardry, so I can use that to cast this. Now it takes 80 gems. I don't think I will overcast it. If we look at it, the players who are big, a lot of them are not Earth powers, so I don't think there's terribly many people who would be likely to overcast it and steal it from me. The usual suspects, so like Agartha, who's potentially big enough to take it, or like to cast it. Agartha almost always wants to do it, so they're too small. The big players, the people who I think might take it, could be Pythium, but they don't have great Earth access, and I don't know what they have on their Bless, but it's very possible they don't have great Earth access. Tianchi, who has some, but not very deep. They don't really have deep access to anything, right? But it would be very hard for them to get up to Earth 6, and I don't know what they took on their Bless. I can go back and potentially check. I mean, we can do that. Have I seen... Well, let's just go through the rest. I don't think I've seen any Pythian battles, so I don't really know. Yes, clearly they have Earth, because they put up Forge of the Ancients, which requires a lot of Earth gems. So Yis is probably the biggest candidate for stealing it from me. Now my options are, I can put it up, or I can just hoard and then wait to overcast somebody else. And maybe that's what I do. Because I think if I put it up too, I'm going to attract a lot of unwanted attention. Especially after I steal some of these. So I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to hang tight, and as soon as somebody else casts it, I'll overcast it with like 100 extra. Well, depending when they do it. The other thing and the other incentive not to cast it is once I cast it, I'm going to want to be more careful with Mr. Hands. And I'm not sure Mr. Hands is ready to be careful. He had 2 afflictions, he's down to 1, he's gotten rid of one of them, but he's basically ready to be redeployed. And I had some thoughts, like I thought about redeploying him here into land that was previously Alms, because it is in teleport range. The Guardians would be a problem because they would fatigue me out. But basically I would shock the shit out of them, and then having Temper Flesh and like if I cast all my buffs, especially because this is cold, yeah, Breath of Winter would kind of take those guys out. What I think I would rather have them do is come over here and try to finish off Pangea. And then if they're successful, then I'll come in and take it from them. Because I'm gonna need, like, especially with Fascia moving in, which I mentioned I kind of asked him to do, but it was a bad idea. He's probably gonna want this too, shit. He's not gonna get, I don't know. We'll have to decide. The thing is, Fascia is a natural ally for me, because we both border relay. It just makes sense for us to be friends. I think I'm gonna have to, I don't know, we'll see. Ideally I take this, it's gonna take him a while to siege this down. But yeah, hopefully I take the, I think this needs to be a priority, taking this. I really want thrones. I don't have a lot of thrones right now. Like, if you look at it, I've just got the Throne of Life and the Iron Throne, so I only have 2. I haven't really looked at this. Let's see if anybody's getting close. So 16, I don't think anybody's close. But Yis has 3, so in some ways Yis is the leader right now. Pythium has 2. Marignon has 1. What is this? Vanarus? They have 2. TNG only has 2, and there's a couple that are unaccounted for. So, yeah, I think, like, let's see. If I get both of these, then I'll be at 4. Now, to win, you kind of need a lot. You need 8 to win, so I'd be halfway there. And then if I really wanted to push for it and do a throne rush, which I usually don't like doing, but as soon as I start getting close, everybody's going to start thinking about that. So I've got 4. So, I mean, if I got these 2, I would have 4. I have 2 currently. Then this one would be 5. 6. 7. 8. Yeah, it's not looking super easy. Maybe this one. I'm not ready to throne rush, for sure. Basically, I'm gonna have to eat somebody else, which is kind of how I like playing the game anyway. But, okay. Now, okay, so what have we done? We're casting Mother Oak. We're making some more lightless lanterns. I've kind of put it on. My research is going pretty good. I'm almost up to 2K, which is pretty important, because I think once you hit 2K, that's when you can start thinking about like multiple level 9 targets. So yeah, we'll get to enchantment 9 in not too long. It's gonna be, yeah, it's probably like 4 or 5 turns away. Now, in terms of income, my water income has gone up quite dramatically. My astral income's gone up quite dramatically, and I got a trickle of these other ones. So like my fire gem went up a little. Some of this was from site searching, but other things just got a little bit of a nudge from Maelstrom. So if we convert everything I have into astral, or like all the water and all the astral, basically I'm gonna get 20 and then 20. So I get about 40 pearls a turn if I convert water gems. And then if I have this in like 5 turns, I have Arcane Nexus, then I would be able to cast with like 250. I think my first casting of Arcane Nexus is gonna need to be, how high? Probably 3, it's a 150 to cast. And if people did a dispel, they're not gonna do a dispel for like 60. I think it would be hard to get people to spend their pearls on that, on a big dispel, but if they did, it would need to be, I don't know, I kind of want to put like 500 in it. That's really, if I had my way, I would probably do that. Because 500 would be an overcasting of 350. And the thing with that is people would be like, okay, we'll put 300 in it, that'll take it down. And then it's like, no, it was 350. I can't ever see people being like, okay, we're gonna put like we're gonna do Dispel with 400. So that might be what I want to do. If I do that, how many turns would it take? Because right now I'm at 65. I'm gonna have other things I want to do with my water gems, so it's not completely reasonable for me to say that. But like, when could I do it? I could do it. Well, so let's say 500 total. It's gonna be basically a year and a third, something like that. Let's see if I can do math here. 1 second, let me pause it. Okay, so if we say 500 and I start off at 65, it's about 11 turns. If I'm doing 40 pearls a turn. And I kind of want to steal. I don't know if that means it makes sense to steal Stellar Focus or not. The thing is, in 10 turns, the game's going to be pretty farly progressed. Like, it's going to be turn 64. But this isn't going to be over soon. Nobody's really close to a throne victory. So maybe I need to make... Maybe I can wait that long. Potentially, I'm also going to get some events. What else could I alchemize? I could alchemize Earth. This is one of the things... Yeah. Shit. It's possible they do 200. And it's possible they do 300. I don't think it's likely they would dispel for less than that. I mean, the other thing I could do... Okay, well first let's see how we're gonna cast it, because I'm not sure I actually have that under wraps. Okay, we're Astral 6. Oh wait, we only have to be 8. Okay, so I just wear 2 items and we're set. Okay. I was thinking we had to be 9 for a second. Is everything site searched for Astral? No. There's a lot of things that are not. Now, I'm not sure where all I'm casting Arcane Probing, but let's start spamming it out, actually, because if it's going to be 10 turns, I'm going to have a while for this stuff to pay back. I'm not really opposed to site searching this either. It's a swamp. Now, over here, I know Yis has already done some site searching. I think for this, I think what I want to do is site search manually. I kind of want to keep these around in case I need to mind hunt. I think we're gonna I think we're going to. Well, no, I don't think we are. The thing is, these are already, they've been site searched for Astral, at least by level 1, maybe level 2. Probably level 1. So it still makes sense to search them, but because I really care about all my pearls right now, and I'm like doing a countdown to when I can cast a global, I don't want to waste it. I think doing it here and here is not a waste. Or doing it, here and wherever the other one was. It's not a waste, because they haven't been site searched at all. But I think the other ones, like if they've been site searched to level 1, I don't think it's a 10 turn payback on average. The other option is I just cast it for 150 as soon as I get it. And I use that to save up a bank of 500. And the second time I cast it, I use it, I do it for 500. Or maybe I put like 200 in it the first time. Thing is, it's gonna be tough, well... Yeah, it'll be tough for them to dispel it. I mean, for them to kind of... I don't know. I'm really unsure how many they're going to try to dispel the first time. I mean, you can't really know, but I'm imagining who's going to throw gems. Everybody's going to throw gems. I think they're all going to talk. And if everybody throws in 50 gems, which is like the kind of thing they would do, I don't think it would be worth for me to put 200 up. Because I would put 200 in for like a 50 overcasting, and then like in 2 turns it would be taken down. And it wouldn't pay for itself back. The problem, okay, the good thing is Arcane Nexus is really, really good in big games. The other problem is it's really easy to take down because everybody can pool their resources. It could mean that I need to take Stellar Focus sooner rather than later. Stellar Focus, maybe I just do it for like, assuming he put 30 in it, maybe I just put like 40 and I do it with my god. Would I do it with my god? I don't think I have another terribly high Astromage. You can get national heroes that are... there's a pretty high Astromage national hero. I don't think I'm gonna get him. So, how long? I think I get that next turn. So maybe we do that. We do this for 40. That's gonna pay itself back in like 10 turns. It's also gonna decrease from the amount of pearls that will be available to the greater map community to try to dispel it. I think that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, okay, so I think that's the plan. I've kind of been tinkering around thinking what we're going to do. So we're taking Mother Oak, we're going to take Stellar Focus, we're going to take all the 3 gem generating globals. Stellar Focus, we're not going to take it with much. Because the thing is, if I took it with much, so there's a chance it won't work. But almost everybody who casts Stellar Focus the first time, they just put 30 in it. In which case... if I just cast it with a higher Astral Mage, like I can cast it with Astral 8, and it's only Astral 5, so that's going to give me like 15 bonus gems, and then if I put 10 more, there's a good chance it's going to take it. Okay, so what are we doing? Here, I thought about raiding. I could raid on top of this guy. I could raid over here. I could raid here. Thing is, this is dangerous because it's probably on the path through which like Movark Knights come running in. I don't see Yis yet. I forget where they are. There may be... I don't remember. What kind of PD do I have here? I have Horse Tribe. Those are pretty good. Maybe I should raid. Maybe I should. So, I was just gonna site search, and maybe I site search. Maybe we'll site search and then, well... I kinda wanna hit Yes in the economy a little bit. Thing is, I've been so freaking unsuccessful with my raiders. I think this is a dangerous spot to raid. Maybe we go here and then we come back here, or who knows what we're gonna do. Here, we're going to move here. We're basically... This is a dangerous move. You know, who knows what's going to be right here. We know it's high enemy dominion. I can't send in my god. If he has Astral Mages, I'm going to be in some shit. I'm not sure. It's possible that he tries to defend this, but I'm not sure if he will. If he adds stuff here, maybe he moves and tries to take that. I think this is a little dangerous. I think my thing with Yis is I'm going to be really careful about using thugs. I think everybody's just going to site search. If Yis wants to roll an army up into me, we are prepared. We've got Acid Storm ready to get dropped. It's going to shit on them. The other thing I've done is I need to get a Nature Mage sitting in here so I don't have to do this weird Cloud Trapeze acrobatics to get somebody in. So we're going to go ahead and move one down here. The other thing I need to do is I do need to get this to be level 2. I don't want it to get cracked so quickly I can't respond. So I think I'm going to have to... I think we're going to turn off a little bit of troop production. I need to get a little bit... I'm going to... For the next few turns, especially if I'm taking stuff, and I'm going to need more infrastructure. So I think here we're going to go ahead and do Castle level 3. Because right now at 200... The thing I want to... what I want to have is I want to have a Nature Mage inside that can buff my god for regeneration, and I want to have a turn to teleport my god in without having the fort kind of immediately cracked. Because if they're storming the turn I teleport my god in, we can still kill them, but they're going to kill all my mages, which I don't really want. Yeah. So I think that's what we're doing over here. Here, we did not crack this fort in one turn, and I think I had mentioned it, but I'll just say it again. It's because we lost a couple of our Shamblers, because we were right at the cusp. I'm sure it's got like 10 fortification left, or less. It's also not very high wall strength. So I'm going to want to upgrade the forts here and here, I think. So I think that's mostly it. I'm not really forging much, and if I've kind of organized my inventory, but you can see I've got a shit ton of hammers sitting around, which is not what I wanted, but I shouldn't have built this many. There were a few things that I was thinking when I did that. One is I was thinking my thugs would be more effective than they are, and I mean, don't get me wrong, they're nice, but they've died a lot, and I've lost a lot of gems doing it. So if it was working better, I would be more willing to continue to do it. But given that it's not working very well, given that it's not working terribly well, I'm less inclined to sink a ton of gems into it. And I have all these other gem chain globals I'm trying to get up right now. And so that's, like, I just got Maelstrom up, so good. We'll be able to start forging water bracelets and this again, but then I'm going to want to kind of transmute some of them into Arcane Nexus, into pearls for Arcane Nexus. And yeah, Yis probably has a fair amount of pearls. I think I'm really going to need 500. So I'm glad we're stealing Stellar Focus now. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking it might be good to put up Earthblood Deepwell just to give me more income that I can use to alchemize into pearls. But I don't think we'll be doing that. Okay, I think that's about it for this turn. We're not really doing much. We're building a temple. The other thing is since Pelagia has died, their Dominion has completely disappeared. So you see these are like 0 Dominion. What that's going to mean is a few things. One is like my Dominion's going to move in more quickly, but also other people's will. So we want to go ahead. We've got these preachers here preaching. We've got one that was in Pelagia's cap. They are moving out and they are going to preach. I think we're going to move this guy up here. I've got this guy who was on this island. He was preaching. I think he's going to go ahead and head into Pelagia's cap. We've got the Dominion high enough here. This is a pretty damn valuable province too. Garden of Pearls, Boiling Bog. This is a great province. We're also casting Dark Knowledge some more, but I think that's mostly it. The other thing, I need troops. So maybe some of my spending priorities aren't quite right. I think I might have enough priests here, and I think what I'm going to need is more. Well, maybe, yeah. Maybe we make one more priest, and then we're going to start spamming. I need troops. Because I'm going to need to siege down all the Yissi stuff pretty quickly. Now, the other thing to talk about is with Pelagia moving in, I do not want to have a very narrow strip where I just come in. Like, if it's just this wide, where I go into Yis, I just don't like that kind of... Like, it does weird things with your Dominion and all that. So, I think what this means is I need to conquer Ulm. Because I don't really want to fight Phaeacia. So, I kind of want to conquer Ulm. I will basically wreck him. I do need to think about things like mass protection. Because I don't want to get completely nuked by Iron Blizzard. But things like Foul Vapors and Acid Storm will just murder Ulm. It will really murder him. But maybe I time that once I have Enchantment 8, which is going to be coming up pretty soon. What else is Enchantment 8? We get Mass Regeneration. Are there any good globals? Haunted Forest? No. Wrath of the Sea? No. Yeah, so I think we're going to have to fight Ulm. And to do that, I'm going to need more troops. I don't have enough troops on this side of the map. I think we have to wait. So we wait for mass regen. I don't have enough mages over here either. Maybe I just need to chill out for a minute. We'll let Ulm and these guys fight. If Ulm wins, I think that's going to be our trigger to attack. Because I'm going to need this. I'm going to need this. Where's Ulm's capital? I think Ulm, yeah, it's right here. And Ulm is kind of weak. The more people I attack, though, the more there's like a cacophony of people saying, hey, you have to worry about Atlantis. And I don't really want that cacophony to go off until I have Arcane Nexus. Now, okay, if we're going to be putting all this tremendous effort into getting Arcane Nexus, let's talk a little bit about what we can actually use Arcane Nexus for. So number one, we can use it for golems. And golems are going to be extremely important in fighting Grelay. The second thing we can use it for is we can start... Okay, so I can empower my god, which is something I kind of want to do anyway. But empowering him is going to cost 105 pearls. Now, it's actually worth it. It's worth it for a few reasons. One is I become even more immune to Magic Duel. Two... I can now cast Wish. And that is a pretty big deal. Once I have Wish... Let's check my sites out. I don't think I have any alteration... I don't have any spell casting bonus sites. But once I can cast Wish, I will get... And I think that somebody told me this is how it works. I thought it didn't. I actually can test it. We're actually going to test it. I'm going to pull up a test game after this. But I think you get gems back from your wish casting with Arcane Nexus. So we'll see. It's actually super easy to test. Like, that's a ritual range. Is that a ritual range? Okay. Ritual range. Death Mage may enter to summon a shape. Yeah, we don't have any. What are we? We're really just site searching for Earth? I don't think that's worth it. We'll research. Well, yeah, we're gonna have another guy who can do it in a hot minute. So, what was I talking about? We were talking about empowering this guy, so that's going to be the first use. Then we can do Wish, and then we said we were going to test it, so let's actually do that. Let's pull up a game. So we've got this game here, which we'll just use. And let's see. So let's have everybody wait. Let's do Arcane Nexus. Okay, and then everybody's still waiting. Let's go here. Okay. Go back to Hinnom. Okay. So everybody's waiting. And let's just see what the baseline income is for Hinnom. Okay, so we got 1 gem. Now, if Hinnom casts Wish, then we are going to get 2. No, so it doesn't work. I didn't think it worked. Somebody's like, oh yeah, it totally works. You get income from casting Wish from Nexus. Let's get another Seraph. Yeah, we got shit. Let's read the description for Arcane Nexus real quick. So Astral and Blood we don't get, but every other kind. Of course, it says it in the description. I don't know why somebody was telling me that. But anyway, so that's one use. We can turn... Basically, if you... Okay, sorry. So I clicked out. So that's one use. We can't use it to, like, run a pump where we continually do it. Which we could if we got pearls back from casting it. What we can do is we can take them and we can turn them into all the other gym types, which is pretty useful. We can use it to get golems. And we can use it to break us into, like, to get some really high-level mages that otherwise we'd have trouble getting, like Seraphs, or some other things. In terms of the Astral Gym Sinks, let's take a look. Aethergate is kind of good, but too expensive. Eater of the Dead, these guys are actually hilarious. We don't have the right paths to cast it, though. We could potentially get Abominations. They're pretty good. They might not be bad in conjunction with Acid Rain Spam, because these guys basically have long-ranged AoE armor-negating attacks. And normally they're probably too expensive for that, but if I have a ton of pearls, it may be okay. I think we're probably going to turn them into gems. Like, we're probably going to get Nexus up and spam out gems. Like, if I can cast Wish every turn, it's basically going to give me a plus 20 income in every other gem type. Yeah, nothing here. Evocation. Okay, we can do Wrath of God with, like, a huge overcasting, and with our Dominion, this actually is probably part of that strategy. Because this is going to make it so almost everybody can't really attack into me. Yis can't. These guys can. Relay maybe can. I forget how much Wrath of God does. I want to say it's like 8 AN plus DRN. Could be more. Could be like 14. But it will definitely stop TNG from attacking into me. But I think that's later. I need to get... Once I have all this shit forted and templed, my Dominion pressure is going to be ridiculous. Pythium can't attack me. These guys can. These guys are strong enough they can survive Wrath of God. But they can't bring some of their cheaper kind of human mages. Ulm, get out of here. Ulm would have no answer. The elves wouldn't be a problem. So I think that's definitely one of the later gem sinks I could use. That one I probably don't want to do. Construction, we could get... Yeah, golems I think are one of the better gem sinks for Arcane Nexus. I mean, we could just have a ton of them, potentially. And then... enchantment. Thaumaturgy. Now, potentially, I can use my god to do astral travel. And he could take... He has really high leadership, so he could potentially... Like, he can already gateway around armies. But basically, this allows him to do gateway where the target is an enemy province. And then we just murder everybody there, especially once I have, like, Army of Gold or something. So, this won't really be, like, a gem sink, but it is worth looking at. It's something I can do. Master and Slave. Do we want to do that? Fatigue cost 800? Yeah. No, thank you. So we've looked at all the astral spells. So anyway, takeaways I think are Wrath of God is going to be the shit. Golems are going to be the shit. And then potentially we may do Call Abominations. But mostly I think what we're going to be doing is wishing for gems. And then we'll be spending them. It's kind of a really long payback, though. It's a really long payback. Like, the time I'm not going to be spending my pearls is pretty high. But I don't think this is... I'm not... Like, I have been in other games... I think... Because I've cast Arcade Nexus a few times, and many times it has not helped me win. I think I'm going to cast it early enough, like if I get it off close to, like, turn 62 or something, then... Maybe I can find somebody to trade pearls with me. Like, if I ask everybody, hey, what gems do you need? And I trade them the gems they need, but in exchange, I get pearls. Then in that case, I could get Arcane Nexus potentially like 2 or 3 turns earlier. The good thing about doing that too is I'm going to basically take pearls out of the Dispel market. I don't know if people will be willing to do that, but I think I'm going to try. I think that's going to be my plan. So I just traded for all my water gems to get... I mean, I got a lot of water gems trading. I probably got like 60 at least. So I think that's what I need to do, is trade for pearls. Go for Arcane Nexus as soon as I can get 400 to 500 pearls to put in it. The thing that's really, really, really important is that either if you think they're going to have trouble coordinating to Dispel, you can do it once for nothing. I don't think that's the case. I think they'll coordinate. So if you think they're going to coordinate, then it's really important the first Dispel attempt to miss. And I don't think they'll put more than 300. So I think I really have to do 500. If the first one misses, what it's going to mean is there's going to be a lot of turns in the future where I'm going to basically get to recoup my investment into it, where I actually start getting like some kind of real profit. And I think if I Dispel it, okay, I think I'm going to cast Arcane Nexus, and then I'm going to wait until I have 200 pearls in the bank. And what that is going to do is... Or maybe 250. Because then, if they Dispel it, I'll cast it again with 100 overcasting. And they won't know, and they would have just spent at least 300 dispelling it, and so they'll have to like get another, 350 pearls to dispel it again. So we'll see. Yeah. Okay, what are the other things I can take advantage of as I go up to Astral 9? We're going to have all the resistances. I mean, not to Astral 9, to Enchantment 9. We'll have all the resistances. We'll have Mass Regeneration. Fire Fend is going to be potentially really nice. It'll help me a lot with the Movarks. Lichcraft is going to be the shit. I'll have that very soon. Life After Death I can potentially cast next turn. I mean, Ritual of Rebirth. Life After Death is not bad, especially if I'm doing Acid Rain. It can kind of let my humans stay around if they die. A lot of these are not going to be terribly useful for me. This one I can potentially do. I don't know how well that works. I would love to have more real income, though. But okay, anyway, I think that's about it. Goal is to take over this. Assess Ulm for the right time to attack, and if I want to, because we're going to need to. Get all my Dominion out here. And then take over a lot of these globals. And then also forward up in Temple. Because we're basically going to be making a play for the late game. But we're not going to let that cut down too hard on our aggression. I think the thing I need to trade off, though, is all these forts I'm going to be making troops. Because I need to be aggressive on this front of the map. It's like, this one should be making troops. Why aren't you making troops? We're not going to recruit mages somewhere where I'm not going to fight. We're going to be making troops to take land. Because I'm going to be suffering losses taking, doing Acid Storm. All the troops I can get. Okay. Now my human troops won't survive Acid Storm. Okay, so I think that's alright. The other thing in attacking Ulm and assessing this situation is I need to... potentially if Ulm moves on top of here, I can move an army here and then come in here. I don't have a nap. I don't have to let him know. I mean, he won't like it, but I'm not sure I really care. How much fortification is this? 500? I need to be at least 250. So we're not really ready. Okay, we're not making a mage there. What are you doing? I need to get military power on this side. Okay. The other thing we were a little worried about was Tianchi attacking us, but I don't think that's happening. I think he's worried about us attacking him, because I've got this effigy of war. It looks like I have like a 150 person army here, and then like 100, like a 70 army here. But I'm not sure. I don't think he's going to attack me anymore. I did think he was going to. Like, I spent that turn with this guy. This guy's still patrolling. Iago, you're just always patrolling. If he ever decides to jump me, we don't have a nap, but I can waste 16 research a turn. I think that's one thing that, like, I didn't do very well for a long time is, like, this is nothing. This is like a 16 research is a rounding error. And meanwhile, if I catch him, he's in just deep, deep shit. If I do. Acid Storm on top of a human army, and he's like, oh, we're gonna surprise attack you. I don't think he will, but if he does, it's definitely worth 16 research a turn. Okay, anyway, I've rambled on long enough. Take care, guys.